Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do a chit chat get ready with me. I did ask you guys on my Instagram what kind of videos you'd like to see me do more of this year, because like I said in my Instagram post, I don't want to make videos if you guys are not going to watch them, because it does take time and effort to, film, edit, upload, all that kind of stuff. So I want to put out content that you guys are interested in. And yeah, your girl doesn't have a lot of free time to be just filming anything. There has to be a purpose for what it is that I'm doing, because motherhood is real, mummy life is real. Sebastian's a lot of work. He requires a lot of my time. So yeah, I want to put out content that you guys are interested in. So this morning I'm actually getting ready for church. If you guys don't know, I do go to church every week. And most of the time when I'm, dressed up, it's for church. Growing up, my mom always instilled in us that, when you go to church, you wear your best clothes, because you're going to see God. So yeah, most of my nice clothes are for church. I don't really go anywhere else that's really fancy. But yeah, I love doing my makeup and getting ready for church. So yeah, let's start. So let me start off by just clipping my hair back. So as you can see, I've already done my brows. I'll always do my brows off camera because it's just too fiddly to be trying to figure it out in front of the camera. But for the products that I used this eyebrow gel. Got this on AliExpress for a couple of bucks. And I just did it with a spoolie. So I just apply some of the gel, brush it up where my very sparse eyebrow hairs are. And then I just shape it with the NARS Creamy Concealer. This one is in the color Cacao, so that's the one I use. And then this is an old LA Girls Pro Concealer. It's all dried up, but I just use the applicator just to, go around my brows and shape them. And then I just use a brush just to blend it all out. So these are what I currently use for my brows. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the eyes. These days I don't wear a lot of eye makeup. I've kind of moved away from wearing eyeshadow and stuff because I just like the simple look of a clean eye and just some lashes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use some of my NARS Creamy Concealer and just pop it over my eyelid. And then I'm just going to just blend it out just to create a bit of a base. Now, what I want to talk about today, as most of you will know and have seen the news, the very untimely death of Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter and 7 other people happened in America, Los Angeles, this week, and it really affected pretty much the whole world. Even if you're not a big basketball fan, just for the fact that he was a father and a husband, a son, a friend to those people who were close to him, and his family. You can't be a human being and not be affected by it. Just the grief and the sadness of losing someone close to you, a family member, your husband, your dad. I cannot even begin to imagine what the family is going through. So yeah, it was extremely sad. Okay, so I'm just going to go on and use some of my MAC Studio Fix press powder, and I just use this to dust over my eyelid just to kind of set that concealer, because I'm just going to put liner and then apply my lashes. So yeah, as I was saying, it was really, really sad hearing the news of that, because he was also very young, 41. That is so young. And I know that he had a birthday just recently, and I just turned 36 2 weeks ago. I'm 5 years away from 41. So yeah, that's just crazy that he died so young. Okay, so next I'm just going to line the top of my lash line with a liquid eyeliner pen. I also got this one on AliExpress. And obviously with all the tributes that were being posted on social media, everyone remembering their encounters with Kobe or how Kobe, affected their life or inspired their life. There was one, was it a tweet that was going around, which I actually reposted, and it says, leaving your home and getting back safely is such an underrated blessing. And that is absolutely true. Every day that you leave your house in the morning, and by God's grace, you are able to make it back home to your family and your loved ones, is truly a blessing. Because yeah, you wake up in the morning, you have your day planned out, and you know, you go about your day and you think at the end of the day, you know, it's only normal to think that you're going to come back home. And unfortunately, that's not the case for everyone. And unfortunately, and so sadly, that wasn't the case for, you know, the families that were involved in that tragedy. I'm sure when they kissed their loved ones in the morning and said goodbye, have a great day, honey, have a great day, daddy, have a great day, mommy, you know, they were expecting to see them at the end of the day, and that didn't happen. So, you know, kind of put things in perspective for a lot of people. All of a sudden, the things that, you know, a lot of us worry about, all of a sudden it was all very irrelevant, because when you think about the bigger picture, you know, having your family and your loved ones alive and around you is such a blessing. Okay, so I've just put my glue on my lashes because I'm going to put them on very soon. But usually while I let that glue kind of get tacky, I move on to my face and my foundation. And I always start off by just kind of wiping, you know, any excess oil off my face. Obviously my face is already moisturized, but I'm an oily girl, so I always try and get rid of excess oil. And then I use the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. I've been using this one for ages. I mean, I don't feel like primer really does anything significant in terms of controlling oil for me, or I haven't come across the right one, so I just put it on just for putting on sake. So yeah, what was I saying before? It put a lot of things into perspective for a lot of people, because all of a sudden the things that we worry about, or you know, we put in the forefront as being concerned, were very irrelevant, because death is very real. Okay, so now onto my foundation. Lately I've been using my Mary Kay, which one's this one? Medium Coverage Foundation in Bronze 708, and I got this from my girl Margie in Ghana. I've been mixing this one with any other color that I choose on that particular day, because this foundation is a little bit browner. I find that the other ones that I've been using are a little orange, so this one kind of balances it out and creates, you know, I think a nicer shade. So today I'm gonna blend it with, it's either the L'Oreal True Match, the Maybelline Fit Me, or my Fenty Beauty. Alright, I'm just gonna use this one here. No particular reason, but yeah, I'm just gonna use it. So just pump a few. And then I've started using a brush again to apply my foundation. I stopped using brushes for ages because, I don't know, I really liked the Beauty Blender and how, you know, that look was when I used it to apply my foundation. But I don't know, lately the brush has been working really well, so I've kind of gone back to it. Yeah, so family is very, very important for me in particular. Like, my family is everything to me, and you will see that, you know, throughout my videos, my vlogs and that kind of stuff. You know, I'm always with my family. I spend more time with my family than I do anyone else. And I remember one time I got a comment, someone was like, do you have any friends because you're always with your family? And I'm like, yeah, I have friends, but my close friends are not, you know, most of my close friends are not in Australia. So I'm not going to be just going out and hanging with people for the sake of being around people. I love my family. I love spending time with my family. So I choose to be around my family, you know, if I'm not around my friends. So yeah, family is very important. I think that's also one of the things that made people kind of, you know, realize again, if they'd forgotten, that family is very important. And then the other sentiment that was going around a lot was, if you've got a family member that, you know, you're having an issue with, or you haven't spoken to in a while, call them like today, right now, and tell them that you love them, because tomorrow really isn't promised. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow isn't promised, all we have is today. So, I think the tragedy really just kind of gave people a wake-up call, those who needed it. For those of us, who have been practicing some of these things that I've been talking about or have been applying those things, it just made us appreciate even more what we have in our family and our loved ones and our friends. Okay, so next I'm going to go in and do some highlighting, concealing, whatever you want to call it. This one is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Toast. This is the color that I use, and this one's almost finished, but somehow I keep getting a little more out every time I squeeze it. Yeah, so what was I saying? Geez, I keep losing my train of thought. And then another thing it really made me want to do is just to really get my relationship with God, exactly where I want it to be. As most of you may or may not know, I am a Christian. I do have a relationship with God, a personal relationship with God, and I love God so much, and God has been so good to me in so many aspects of my life. He is the reason why I'm still here today. He's the reason for all the good things and the blessings in my life. Life happens, and sometimes we kind of neglect God, if I can say it that way. We don't spend as much time with Him as we should. Some days, you get up and you just kind of jump into the day, but I'm really trying to have that quiet time with God in the mornings and just kind of be still and listen to His voice. And I find that when I do that, my day just feels a lot better, and I just feel a lot more confident about my day. So that's another thing that the death and the tragedy that happened this week has really prompted me to do. Because for those of you who are Christians, if you're not, that's okay. No judgment there. But for those of you who are Christians, I'm sure you think about the end times and how the world is going today, and there's just so much tragedy and loss and disaster and sadness and just so many things that if you watch the news all the time, it's so depressing, because it's like this world is a horrible place right now. And sometimes, like for me personally, I get really worried. I'm like, what kind of world is Sebastian going to live in? Because the way things are going right now, it's like, geez, it's bad now. I can't even imagine 20 years from now. So yeah, it's really, like I said, prompted me to just strengthen my relationship and my bond with God. So as you can see, I am putting on my lashes because the glue is the right tackiness for me to do it. If it's not, it can be so fiddly and so annoying and so time consuming. So yeah, usually when I finish my foundation, it's ready for me to pop them on. And I've been using the same lashes for years now. I'm such a creature of habit. If I find something I like, I stick with it, and I literally don't venture away from it. So the lashes I use, and I always have some at hand, are the Cocoa lashes, and the style is called Goddess. And they are synthetic lashes, but they do last me a good amount of time. I use and reuse and reuse and reuse, sometimes for months, before, like, when I'm taking the glue off, sometimes I tear the band and then the lash falls apart, then I just get a new one. But I always make sure I have some on deck, because I do order them from the US and it takes a couple of weeks, and I don't want to wait till I have no lashes before ordering them. So I always have some on me. They're about $7.99 US, a little bit pricey, especially with those conversion rates into Australian dollars and also shipping, but they're the best lashes that I've ever worn so far. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly just set my concealer, and I'm using, this one's actually Ben Nye, was it Topaz powder? But it's just in a Kiss container because it makes it easier to apply without being too messy. So I just put my brush in, tap a little bit off, and I don't bake, I don't do all that fancy stuff. I just add a light amount of powder in the areas where I concealed. Okay, so that's pretty much done. And actually, I always forget to contour for some reason. But for contouring lately, I've been using the Fenty Beauty matchstick in espresso because my sleek contour kit, it broke. I don't know what happened. One day I picked it up and the contour color had just crumbled apart. So yeah, I've been using that Fenty Beauty, and it's good because otherwise it was just sitting there collecting dust. And for my contour brush, I got this one on, I think, eBay, and it works really well for the creamy contour, like blending it out because like of the shape and how it kind of, you know, frames and holds onto the face. So yeah, this is the contour brush I've been using. Yeah, it's just light contouring for me. I don't feel like I need to, I don't know, contour a lot. And then I'm just going to put some blush on. I've been using this blush forever. As you can see, this is the Sleek blush in Flushed, I think is the color. And it's like a deep pink type color. I don't put a lot of blush either because, I mean, my cheeks don't need that much color. So I'm going to quickly highlight, and once again, highlighting is very subtle for me. So I use the Sleek blush palette. This is the one that had the contour color that's all broken up. And I use this color here just to do some very subtle light highlighting. And it's just here. It's not very obvious, but obviously when I am in the sun, you can see the subtle hints of the highlight. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm just going to line my lower lash line just with a wind up pencil. This one I got from Chemist Warehouse, those of you who are Aussie. But I order it online. And then I put on my mascara on my bottom lashes, which are almost non-existent. However, I did find this Maybelline The Falsies Push Angel Mascara, which works surprisingly well. I have very, very tiny eyelashes, especially my bottom ones, but the brush on this one here really catches them and, you know, allows me to actually see that, hey, I do have some lashes, even though they're not very long. So yeah, I really, really like this. I got this before I went to Ghana and I've been using it ever since. And it works really well on my, you know, top lashes as well when I'm not wearing my falsies. It actually shows me that I do have lashes, just not the longest lashes, unfortunately. And then I just go in with a brush and just kind of clean up anything that may have smudged a little bit, just to make it a bit more neater. Like that. And then I'll finish off by just dusting my whole face with my MAC Studio Fix press powder. And then for my lips, this is literally my combination every single day. It's the Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle lipstick, and this one is in the color I Quit. And then the Gloss Bomb, also from Fenty Beauty, this one is Fussy. So I literally just put a little bit of this on, like this, and then I just put the Gloss Bomb on top. Sometimes I'll line my lips, other times I don't. And then that's it for my face. And then my hair, I'm actually wearing the Outre Nisha Soft and Natural, like the wig in my first haul video for this year. So the other one was 201, this one is 203. So this is the longest of the three. And I actually found 202 as well, so that's on its way. And this one I got in a 1B30, so it's got some, you know, subtle highlights at the bottom there. Sometimes I will free spray it down with the Got To Be, but today I don't feel like it because it's not that serious and I like to snatch my wig off usually when I come home from church. So I'm just literally gonna brush it out like this. And the texture of this is so pretty. It's like the perfect texture. It's not too coarse and it's definitely not silky, but it doesn't have that rough feel that some textured kinky wigs have. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop a little bit of my powder. This one is the LA Colors Mineral Press Powder in toffee, and I'm literally just going to do this. Just apply a little bit in the parting area. And that's literally it. All done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me video. Definitely leave your thoughts down below on some of the things that I talked about in this video. Let's have a conversation as always. But most importantly, guys, make sure to tell the people around you that you love them. Give them a big hug, give them a big kiss. Let them know that they are so special to you and you value them so much. So yeah, guys, don't forget to rate this video if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.